Hello, this is Jose here up again with my 2017 S550. But this time I'm not working on this car. We're working on this beautiful BMW 528i X-Drive. And what we're going to be doing on this is we're going to be replacing the battery. The battery is located in the back and it's almost the same procedure as this car. This car has also had the battery in the back. If you look back at my videos, you'll see how I replace that, and you'll hear a lot of tips. You're gonna get a lot of good tips on that. We're gonna skip a lot of stuff on this car, but you'll see basically how it gets done. So make sure you go back to that video and look at it and see a few tips that are very, very good tips there. So we're gonna replace this battery. The battery is about 10 years old. The driver was lucky to have that battery last that long, but it's about time to change it. The car's throwing some codes, and a lot of it has to do with power and missing voltage and all that. So um, uh, changing this battery is going to fix a lot of those problems and erase those codes. So we'll see. We're gonna replace the battery. After that, we'll have to reset the count on the car, register the battery to the car, and we're gonna go through that process too. So let's get to it. So we're gonna take the covers off. The battery is right here, like I said, in the trunk. We have some of these things that we already took out to be able to take this cover out. And then we'll take unplug the power to it. And one more cover. There's our battery. Okay, so we're gonna remove we have to remove this bracket, and we're going to use number 13 for these. And then we'll move the two poles. By the way, we don't have to use a BMW battery. We can use any other battery. The ones I've been using is Odyssey. I really like those batteries, and that's what we're going to be using on this one. They're leak proof. All right, so we're going to get the poles out. We have them loose. Both of them are loose. And what I like to do is wrap the terminals in a piece of in a rag so that the terminals don't touch any metals when they come out. So we prevent any shorts. You'll see all of that on my video. Make sure you see that on the other battery. Keep it away. So now we'll take this one out. And same thing. Make sure you wrap the terminal so it doesn't touch anything. So we disconnect the drain hose, and we can pull these up. Okay, now we have the battery free. So we're almost ready to pull it out. We have another bracket over here holding it. And we're done. Now we should be able to pull it. There we go. And we go in with the new. Well, so we're gonna tighten down the battery, and we put our connections back. Okay. Always make sure the positive and the negative are on the same side where the previous battery was. You connect your drain This is just really for fumes or the liquid that comes out of the battery. If it comes out, this one doesn't. This battery don't leak. You don't really need these, but it has a why not connected. These batteries, you could put this battery sideways, turn it around, whatever, but it doesn't leak. That's one of the reasons I like these batteries. So we'll go back on the positive side. We have to find the torque specs. We're gonna torque these. Make sure you take the covers off. Don't put your battery connection on top of this because if you put it on, it's not making any connection. You won't have any power. You won't know what happened. You gotta make sure you take that off. And this, we have to just find the torque and we're gonna torque this. But if you don't know the torque, don't go any stronger than this. Only tighten it up with your fingers if you don't have any torques. These don't need much force. And whatever you do, don't bang on these to put it down. If it's not going down, you have to open it up, open the terminals, and put it in all the way. Because if you bang on this, you don't see it, but you're going to hurt the battery on the inside. So never bang on your battery terminals. Okay, we're going to put the bracket back. We'll see how the car is doing, see if the car cleared the codes. And then we have to register the battery. Make sure that count starts from the beginning, because if not, you'll burn the battery. Battery won't last more than a few weeks if you don't change the count. Especially if that battery's been there for 10 years. The car charges the battery stronger and stronger as time goes by. Because it needs it. The battery is weaker and weaker all the time, so it needs a stronger charge. So you have to make sure you reset that. So the torque specs for these battery terminals is 15 Newton meters or 133 inch pounds. So make sure you do inch pounds, not foot pounds, okay? Shouldn't be too much after we already tighten it. There we go. There we go. And that's it. Battery's torqued. Let's see if the car starts and how it does after this. Okay, we're ready. We're going to start the car. Turn right on, no problems. All right, let's see. Let's run a diagnose. Okay, it's the right car. So now we're going to go and we didn't find any codes. Let's see, we're going to do the registration of the battery. So, okay. Oh, that's a BMW. Ignition is on. register battery exchange. All right, so we're gonna register the battery. Let's see what the options are. Display distance reading at the last battery exchange, register battery exchange, and service function, the history. So let's do F2. Engine needs to be off. Terminals are on. Entry cannot be canceled. So we also have to make sure that we put the same capacity, because it is the same capacity. It's not higher or lower. We're going to choose the same battery. Is the new battery installed? Is it original? No. Is it BMW original? No. Okay. The battery exchange was successfully entered, so that's it. Last battery exchange, 201 kilometers, or 121 miles, I believe. Continue. Okay, so the battery was registered, the camera was reset, and we're all set. Now we just have to make sure the car is working right and see if any of the codes come back. We're having a problem with the pump, the fuel pump. I believe it was because it didn't have enough power. It was throwing more codes. It was throwing the code for the airbags. It was throwing the code for the coolant, which the coolant I still believe is coming, but the fuel pump might be gone. TPM malfunction, that's nothing to do with the battery, something to do with the sensors. Looks good. So we are done with the battery. We reset it. We registered the battery to the computer, the car, and now it's going to charge it as a new battery. And this is all we had to do. And you don't have to use the original battery. You don't need a BMW battery. Same thing with my car. You didn't need a Mercedes battery. And with any car, you don't need a dealer's battery. You can use a different battery. You could choose whatever you like. I like these Odyssey batteries. They're really, really good. They're a little pricey. They're expensive, but they're not as expensive as the one at the dealer. And I think they're better than the original batteries. So as long as you have the correct crank and size and all that, you should be fine. So we're gonna put this back, and I just want to finish up with these. Make sure you torque your terminals. If you don't have the torque, don't go over tighten it. You don't need your whole arm. You don't need to put all your force on it. It's better if you go to the torque specs, but if you don't, just go with your fingers. Just tighten it up. Maybe just your hand on the front of the handle, and just like this, and tighten that up. Don't go with your full force. Okay, you'll destroy the battery. You'll destroy your terminals. And same thing with anything in the car. You always need torque specs, especially on engines like these and high performance engines. They're lightweight, and they're lightweight because they use soft metals. They have aluminum, and if you go beyond that torque spec, you're gonna destroy it. So uh, more tips on my battery, on changing the battery, you'll see on my video with the car. On the Mercedes, I have a lot of good tips there, so make sure you see that, and hope you like the video.